Peach.
Oh, wow.
That's an absolute
Wow.
peach.
Where did that come from?
Very nice.
That was at the memory bank. You've got to take everything into perspective, where you are in life, what's around you, who your family is, and always look on the bright side, you know. It's the only way. I didn't really get that much down when I played 31 years on tour. I just loved every minute of it because, okay, I missed the cut, back home, spend the weekend with your wife, kids, whatever, and then back out and do it the next week and forget it. What's done is done. Everything's in front of you in life. What happened 5 minutes ago is gone. You'll never get that back. It's what's in front of you. Go, go, go. Oh, your toe rag. Oh well.
Toe rag.
In golf, you know, you can shoot 62 and I shoot 72. Great round, but you haven't beaten me yet. There's still 3 rounds to go. And that's a great aspect of it. There's always more to come. Nice. Chance of getting in that one, definitely.
To spend time with you is a real treat and an honour, and it's something that I never take for granted. And
Very kind.
to do it on the golf
Just keep beating
course.
me at golf, that's all.
To do it on the golf course is even better. But I guess I'll start by asking how you are just now. How's life treating you right now?
Great. Just getting old and wrinkly. Still trying to play golf. You couldn't really call it golf anymore, but I still go around 2-3 times a week with my friends here at Sunningdale, so it's nice. I can't let it go. I've tried to give it up many times, there's not a chance. I'll come off the last green having a horrific round, throw the clubs in the car, 2 glasses of wine, that's me, never again, back home. Within half an hour I'm out in the net hitting balls, I've got it. It's a game that it always brings you back. It's been a wonderful game.
Oh yeah.
How are you half?
Very nice. What's your earliest memory of playing golf?
Well, I was born in Largs. My dad was first a bricklayer, then a greenkeeper at Kelburn, and then he got offered a job at Rossendale, just outside Manchester. So when I was 5, that's when we went there, and he put a club in my hand, age 5, and I just loved it. I think it was a part 9-hole course, and when I was 8 or 9, I shot 39. I always kept score. Always kept score every time I played, because I wanted to beat whatever score I'd done before. And I came in and I said to him, I shot 39, and I thought he was going to give me a belt. You know, I told you never to lie to me. I said, Dad, honestly, I did. I swear to right, come with me. So he drags me to the first tee and went round with me, and I shot 39 again. So
Wow.
I'd found my coach for life there. That was a long time ago. He spent every minute on me. Amazing. I mean, my phone bills when I was on tour were bigger than my hotel bills because there was no mobiles, and I phoned home every night and go through first to the 18th,
Right.
every shot. And whatever was wrong, he would always say, well, it's either this or it's that. It's one thing or the other thing. And it kept me going right through most of my career. And then we came back to Largs when I was 9 and played a little bit of, I remember him taking me through to North Berwick. I think I was 10. Dropped me off at the pro shop, David Hush, who'd got me digs for the Scottish boys, and left me there for as long as I stayed in. As soon as I get beat, he would come and pick me up. But they were great times, just the start of it really. And then I got quite a few jobs, working in a grocery shop, doing the vegetables, and I nearly got the sack there because he weighed it and marked up the price, and I used to give my granny anything she wanted for 5p, and I got caught, so I got demoted to stacking shelves. But then Jimmy Letters from the John Letters Golf Company got me an interview with Arthur Lees here at Sunningdale to be assistant. It all started here basically.
What's your earliest memory at Sunningdale?
Flying down with my mum, and we both flew down. It was the first time both of us had flown. We landed at Heathrow, got a taxi to the club, and went into the club. We had smoked salmon. First time we both had smoked salmon. And then sitting nervously waiting for Arthur Lees to come in and take me out. We played 9 holes as an introduction, and I got the job, and came back 1st of January, I think. I think it was late 1971 when I did the interview, and then, no, it would have been late 70, and then coming here at the start of 71.
So would you have been, what, 18 or 19 or?
17.
17.
17, on tour at 18.
Brilliant.
It's great. Loved every minute of it.
And did they support you when you said, I want to go and play? They said, yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, Arthur was great. There was the Aqua Gavert at Stoke Poges, and I went and pre-qualified, qualified, played in it, made the cut, which meant I could play in the next event, which was the Dax. And I shot 280s or something like that, missed the cut by a mile. But it gave me a taste of what tour life would be like. And then the end of the year, started the first tournament in Pals Girona, Spain, first event ever, 1972. The members here have been fantastic to me. They've supported me right through. To make me honour a member after the captaincy of the Ryder Cup was beyond belief to me. I was very proud of that. Still am. We're still here. Right, Iona, I think I still won up, I have to be honest. Good putt of yours there.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Wow.
That's the one.
That is striped. So that's the target.
Pressure's on.
Okay.
Left bunker, you can hit it straight at the left bunker.
Straight to the left bunker.
It's a nice angle in from the left half. I think the pin's on the right, so.
Okay.
Lovely. Beautiful.
A wee bit bottomy actually, but.
Wee bit what?
Bottomy.
Never happy.
And obviously your playing career developed, you know, getting out on the tour and then becoming a multiple winner. Of all the 21 that you won on tour, what was the most special to you?
I think it was actually not on the tour, it was the Australian PGA at Royal Melbourne. I played with Norman and Seve last 2 rounds. We were 1 and 2 in the world. And I'd bumped into, I played with Seve a few times prior to that. I played him at the Belfry where we were last week. And I was 1 down with 2 to play. And it's against the King, Seve, you know, it was 76, so he was right up there. And we both missed the green at 17, the par 5, and he chipped it up stone dead, and I duffed it right in front of my nose, but then I chipped it in for the half.
Wow.
So I've marched over to the last tee, teed it up, had a practice swing, and I'm addressing it, and I can't see any feet. There's nobody there, so I stand up, and there's nobody there. I'd gone to the 9th tee.
Oh no.
Which was quite possible in those days. You wouldn't think of it now because of the trees that are there now. But it was just about 60 yards past the 18th tee, so I come back over. Fortunately, I hadn't hit, and he 3-putted the last, and we finished all square. But then beating him in 80 in the Australian PGA was just incredible for me. And he put his arm round me. He always called me Sam, S-A-N.
Right.
And he put his arm around me behind him and he said, you know, Sam, you're very tough to beat, eh? And to come from him, that was huge for me. Changed my life. I became a much better player, much more self-belief. I mean, I won twice in 76 on tour. I won the 75 Zambia Open, then I won twice in 76, but I hadn't won again until the PGA. And I won the Irish Open just after that to get me into my first Ryder Cup. But I went on to win 21 events in Europe when I'd only won 2. I hadn't played in the Ryder Cup, and it was a lot to do with what Seve said to me that day. Never forgot it. Straight, I thought it was off the left.
In the jaws.
Seve.
We've spoken about Seve before. We've had the pleasure of doing an evening together at the Ryder Cup. There's something about Seve I can see really moves you very deeply. What is that? Can you put your finger on what it is about Seve?
Respect.
Yeah.
You know, the Ryder Cup, to sit in the team room, the first thing you want is the motivational video, because it's a good 2-3 minutes about each player. So you're sitting there, you've got Lyle, Lucy, Faldo, Seve, sitting, watching you on the telly. It's really special. And he would do anything for you. We were playing at West Palm Beach, '83, and I really struggled. There was thick rough around the greens. The Americans were brilliant at it, and of course our top 5-6 players were great at it as well. But it was difficult for us, and he would take you down for an hour in the chipping green, and just magnificent, help you out. And then the tournament finished a couple of weeks later. We're playing in Spain. I think it was Spain anyway, and I'm down at the range at this heavy rough, still trying to get it right, and who walks past but Seve? Oh, Seve, please. Just 2 minutes, and he told me to, excuse the expression, F off. I'll see you in 2 years. I mean, you'll see me back when it's the Ryder Cup. I mean, you're on your own now. I love the man. There was a moment on the BBC where, and it was during his bad times, it was getting near the end, and they had him, Ken was on the phone. Ken did a wonderful piece with Seve at his home in Padrena, and we had him on the phone, and I couldn't speak to him. Just couldn't.
Just taken too soon. But he was a real one in a million.
Yeah.
It feels like to me, I mean, I never got to meet him, and you hear of him through people who really knew him. But it just feels like the bit that's striking the heart, the bit that's striking the chord is his kindness and his generosity. It feels like that maybe is the essence of it.
He was a good looking bugger too.
Yeah.
George Clooney personified. Character. His celebration in '84.
Yeah.
That's never be forgotten.
How important do you think it is to have characters like that in the game of golf, and do you think we've got enough coming through?
It's a different world now. We've got social media. Everything is different. I think it was easy to let your personality shine through in our day. For some reason, I don't know why. Everyone's a bit more personal now. They've got chefs, masseurs, managers, fitness gurus, all travel with them. So they've got their own wee entourage. Whereas we used to be 2 hotels, and half would be in one hotel and the other half would be in another hotel, and we always ate. We never ate dinner, less than 6 of us. It was always the Scots in the beginning, then it became the Irish. But, and great, you were close with so many. It's a different world. I'm not saying it's worse, but I don't think it's better.
Oh.
Just to be sure.
Sam, can you tell me the story about this putter?
Yeah, I'd been using a long putter for a wee while, and I went into the Titleist fan, and this was sitting there, and it was just perfection. It was exactly what I wanted, but it had VJ Singh on it, but he hadn't seen it. So I was a Titleist player, I used Titleist clubs at that time, so they gave it to me, so I just whipped it away and used it from then until today. But I think it was when I was captain of the Ryder Cup, I got an invite to the World Match Play, and I beat Seve in the first round, then I've got BJ the second round, and I beat him up the last 2 up, and then I showed him the putter. It was much more apparent there, it was VJ Singh on it.
So it still has his name on it now?
You never saw this, did you? Yeah, VJ Singh, Scotty Cameron, 1995, in there.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So what did he say?
Well done. He didn't mind at all. He's a lovely man. And that was how I got the putter.
That's brilliant.
Nicked it off VJ, but he'd never seen it, so he really didn't miss it, if you know what I mean.
And you didn't fancy melting it down and putting your own name in it?
No, God, no. I mean, if you put VJ Singh on there, you didn't know it was me. Hey, might we get back to all square here?
You might, yeah.
Would you like it out?
Yes, please. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh. Just going back to your dad, I wonder, as your career developed, and he obviously went on to coach many of the great players, how aware you were of the privilege of him being your dad.
Yeah, it was obviously my greatest asset, having your father, somebody that loves you, teaching you. But we had huge arguments, and I'll tell you why. He always said to me, if you don't take it with you, you won't find it there. So when I came home, I worked really hard, practiced all the time. Misery hell, we used to call it, and just hit balls until your hands are virtually bleeding, and get yourself ready for the event, and then go and play golf. I would never go to the range after I finished. I'd just get out of there, go back, relax, watch a movie, read a book. Mm-hmm. Reading was a great thing for me, but just chill out. But of course then, as years go on, he started teaching other players. And then he comes out on tour, and this is when the argument started.
I see.
We come off the last green, so right, come on, better go and hit some balls. It's Dad, what for, next week? Didn't bring it here, I'm not going to find it here. Just, you know, he wouldn't have it. But I stuck to my guns, I mean, because I always thought practice after you played, you're at an event, you should have your game there, and you really wouldn't find it when you were there. You might find something to work on, but then you would go home and do that if you missed the cut. Mm-hmm. But I stuck to it, so I didn't do much work at tournaments. Did it all at home, and then relax at the event. You know, you go out with a fresh mind every morning, go and play, back in, disappear.
Did you struggle with him coaching other players? Because you grew up, no brothers or sisters, so he was all yours in a way, and you had to share a piece of him, I suppose, with others. How did that feel?
Well, it was at tournament, so it didn't bother me at all.
Right.
It was a relief. You know, he's got other players to go and coach, keep them busy. My mother followed, like, bless her, she was a sweetheart, just loved my father so much. She never let him out of her sights, to be honest. But yeah, no, that was never a problem. He was, I knew he was my coach. I mean, he had great players, Harrington, VJ, Seve, even Woozy.
Yeah.
He taught a lot of them, some great stuff, took Woozy through his major wins, Harrington through his major wins. But I'm sure he told them everything they told me. Maybe not everything, but it was great asset.
What was the greatest lesson that he taught you?
Many things. He told me very young to make a big shoulder turn, hit it as far as you can, and we'll straighten it up later. Well, bless him, he's away now, and he never straightened it up. But head still, soft arms, just a gentle grip, big shoulder turn to your left shoulder's pointing at the ball or the back's facing the hole. Give it a nice scalp from there, play within yourself with irons. He was very good at putting. He never really needed to help me with putting. That was fine.
And as a human being, as a person, and I suppose as a father, what did he teach you that you feel like you've taken on to the next generation?
Not to drink too much. He had a great saying, one's too many and 100 is not enough. And it was true. I had my fun with drink. I mean, I've never done anything stupid sober. A few stupid things with a drink in me. But it was great fun. I mean, the life on tour in those times was just out of this world. It was a much shorter tour. There wasn't an event before the Masters. And then you played until about September. But then after that, we would go, I can't remember where we went first, whether it was East Africa or South Africa. It was probably East Africa, Zambia, Kenya, and Nigeria. I just loved that. It was just amazing. And then you would go, maybe go to South Africa for 3 or 4, and then in January we'd go to Asia for 6 weeks. They were incredible days to see the world like that as a 18, 19-year-old. The food was, I mean, I remember Nigeria was one of my first ones, and I stayed with the manager of a Barclays Bank, a lovely man, his name escapes me, but they had this wonderful servant, as you want to call him, and he made me tomato sandwiches, and that's all I would eat. I wouldn't get near the food. By the time I got to Asia, I was having nasi goreng for my breakfast with a bowl of chilies over it.
Wow.
And just loved it. I've always loved food, as you can probably see. But I think it's a great part of life.
Yeah.
Good food around the world is amazing.
What's your favourite point on the golf course?
Well, it doesn't get much better than this, the 10th. It's a gorgeous view. And you get the halfway hut at the end of it, you can get a wee refreshment, a bit of energy for the last 8. But it's a beautiful golf hole. They all are, really. It's such a gorgeous course.
You have 3 kids, and we do have lots of young people that watch this channel, and we've got lots of parents certainly that are raising children. What 3 qualities do you think it's important to try and instill in kids and help them develop as they go out into this big bad world that we're living in?
Never lie. Just don't lie. It'll always catch up with you in some shape or form. Look after each other. Be kind. Be helpful. And live a great life. There's not much more you can instill into them. Mm-hmm. And I've been lucky all 3 are like that.
I really like that. I think that's great advice. Never lie.
That's the key.
It's a great bit of advice.
Because lies just are lies.
Because little kids, you know, a lot of kids do fib. My family, we always say, is that a truthy pie or a porky pie? Because little kids, they're still learning, they're testing boundaries. And if you can teach a kid not to lie, I think that's actually a wonderful thing to do.
You can't, there's nothing to hide then. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you don't lie. Lies make you feel ashamed. You know, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Mm-hmm. It terrified me.
And they just grow and grow.
Yeah, until it comes back and smacks you in the face. Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Just in case.
I missed my first 7 cuts on tour, and then the John Player Trophy. I was leading with 9 holes to go. Ended up finishing 10th, but it gave me a taste of what was possible. I got a couple of good, Lord Derby on the 25 match play. I played Bernard at the Royal Birkdale. I played Bernard Gallagher in the semi-finals, and Bernard was the king. He was already #1 in Europe at that point, and I beat him on the 18th, and I never let him forget it because I had a 10-footer on the last green, 2 putts to win, and he made me putt it. I managed to 2-putt it and beat him, and then beat Doug McClellan in the final for my first proper victory. Mm-hmm. I kept my card that year, and the last event was the Italian Open, and the following week had another event at Bergamo, which was Constantino's course in Baldovino d'Assu, and it was the same field as the Italian Open, and I managed to win it.
Wow. What year was that?
72.
72.
First 2, 72. It went a bit sparse after that, 73. I mean, this is 69 watching Tony in the Ryder Cup. Mm-hmm. I was very special with Nicholas and the part, and that was in my heart, that event. I wanted to get into that, but I never made it until 81. I played in all the Hennessy Cognac Cups, which was GB and I against Europe. I qualified for that in the even years, but I couldn't get into the Ryder Cup until 81. But once I was there, I loved it. It was just, we got hammered in 81. Hammered. There was, what a team, 11 major champions in the American team. The other one went on to win a major. But it was special. It was, I'd already met Lee Trevino, he played John Letter's clubs when he came to Europe and Britain. And I was with John Letter, so Jimmy Letters introduced me to Lee, and he became a dear friend. He was so special, taught me so many things about golf and life, enjoying yourself, relaxing. And I mean, I drew him in the singles.
Right.
81, first out against Trevino. And I saw him the Saturday night, and he says, "Sammy, I'm going to beat the mustache off you." And he did. He beat me 4-3. But the following morning, we're at Walton Heath, so we had the European team had their own car, so I had my car, and I've come out of the hotel, and Trevino's standing there waiting on his courtesy car. So I said, "Lee, come on, I'll give you a lift." I'm playing him that day in the singles. "Come on, I'll give you a lift." So he gets in the car, and you come out of the hotel and you turn right to the golf club. It's last day, we've been there a week, and every day it's the same route. So I've come out of the hotel and turned left. He's looked at me, Sammy, where are you going? I said, to hell with you, we're going to London, half a point each. I turned round, and amazingly enough, my first ever seniors event was in Mexico. And I come out of the hotel and Trevino's there, and my courtesy car was there, his wasn't there yet. I said, come on, I'll give you a lift. Hey, Sammy, I remember you. I couldn't believe he'd remembered it. It was special.
Yeah. You played in 8 consecutive Ryder Cups, which in itself is some achievement. Which of the 8 stands out to you the most?
Well, 85, I'm the winning part. But I think 83 in West Palm Beach, we lost by a point, and we swore that night, we will be back and we will beat them. We knew we could beat them then. We lost by a point, and it broke our hearts. But we all swore we'll be back. And the next one was, of course, 85 at the Belfry, and I was very lucky to get the winning part, but that changed my life as well. Still haven't bought a drink in Birmingham. They still, even last week, you know, they come up to me. It was great memory.
Do you remember being over the putt? Can you actually remember that moment?
I remember the tee shot. I thought I'd hooked it too much when I hit it. We've come off 17. I've held a 10-footer. We're playing Andy North. I hold a 10-footer to get back to all square. And everything was shaking there. But I was fine on the last tee. Actually, on the way that I'd offered Tony the driver, you hit it for me, but I'd hit a great drive. But in the air, I wasn't sure if it had carried, because the further left you go, the longer the carry is. And the roar on the other side, when it pitched on the fairway, I knew it was away, 9 iron to 30 feet. Andy Northeast skied his drive. As soon as I hit it, I knew it was in the water. It was never getting over it. It was never short of it. There was only one place it was going. So the best he could do was come out, and he'd be beside my ball in 3, and I played 1. And there's not many can give me 2 shots from that distance. So I had a good shot in, about 25 feet, and he pulled his left, and I still was praying he didn't hold it. Because if he hold it, I'd have to 2-putt, and I wasn't sure. But he missed it. So I had 3 putts to win. It was very nice of him to give him a moment, I suppose.
Yeah.
And as Peter at Alice said, as it's rolling up, it's not a million miles away.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. Of the 8 captains that you had, who did you feel?
Well, each they were different. You know, the first one was John Jacobs at Walton. He was a lovely man, very mild mannered, a beautiful man, great coach. It was wonderful to play under him. And then the king, Jacqueline, he changed everything. He got us first class everything, clothes, bags, Concord, hotel rooms, food. He made us feel extremely special, and that was what I took on to my captaincy more than anything. And then we had Bernard for 3. Oh, I loved that. I mean, Bernard's always been a great friend, and the players wanted him back. We didn't win the fight. He tied one and lost one, and we wanted to get him to win in '95. We got it at Oak Hill. That was very special. It was actually my best Ryder Cup. '93, I'd had an injury in my toe. I had to have a nail taken off on the Friday night.
Ouch.
I never played Saturday and Sunday, so that was, and it was '93. It was could have been my last one, but I wished it wasn't, and it wasn't. And '95 was actually the best I played in the Ryder Cup, and I played really well that week.
We had Adam Scott on the channel last year, and we spoke about his sadness, I suppose, in not being able to take part in the Ryder Cup. But we did ask him if he had been able to play, who would he have liked to be his captain? And he said you.
Yeah, sweet.
Are you proud of the way you captained the Europeans?
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't something where I give rip-roaring speeches to them, and I was more man on man. You know, I'd take them aside one at a time, whatever, during the course of the preparation, and just make them feel comfortable. And the walk from the putting green to the first tee, I mean, I got to do that 12 times on Sunday, and the roars are very special, very special. Moments you'll never forget. Philip Price, Philip Price, oh my God. He beat me. We saw it on the telly yesterday, actually, at Belfry. The shot 8 into the 6. Mickelson's hit it to about 2 feet. And he's 1 foot in the hazard, 1 foot out, hooks it, big 30-yard hook round, runs up to about 6-7 feet, knocks it in, and Mickelson misses, and he goes on and beats him. So cut to Sunday night after that, where it was mayhem, really. It was just fabulous. But Westwood had been finding us all the players, and bring them into the bar, the main bar. And it was, you couldn't move. And he had this settee where he'd get up on the settee like the American that brings you onto out to the boxing ring, and do that with each player. And he'd found me and Suzanne. He got Suzanne up first, then me up, and the rowers were magnificent. And then he finds Philip Price.
Right.
And Philip's climbing up, and he's punching Westwood in the arse, saying, "Tell him who I beat! Tell him who I beat!" Just great.
It's amazing. What did being captain of the Europeans in the Ryder Cup reveal to you about yourself?
A lot of help. It was the only thing that daunted me was the speaking. You know, Woozy and I played in the same 8 Ryder Cups, and we all sat at the end, and when you, at the opening ceremony, you're sitting there, and the captain gets up to speak, we look at each other, Christ, we could never do that. But we both did, And David Purdy is actually a member here, but he's a very well-known Scottish speaker. And I heard at the centenary for Sunningdale, funnily enough, and I was sitting beside one of the members, Bugsy Holland, who said to me, you know, you could do a lot worse than putting your best out first and your worst out last in your singles order. That stuck. I did that twice, because of course my Ryder Cup was cancelled with the 9/11 tragedy. And David Purdy, I went up after, he was a wonderful speaker, is a wonderful speaker. And I went up to him after and introduced myself. Yes, Sam, I know. He's a Scotsman. He said, yes, I know who you are. I said, well, I'm captain of the Ryder Cup. He says, yes, I know, Sam. I says, well, I'd love you to help me. And he looks at him and says, Sam, I'm an amateur. He said, I don't want you to play, but he was magnificent. He came to my house a few times. I went up to his home and worked really hard. He kind of wrote the speech in my words, but with his eloquence. And the week before the Ryder Cup, I had the podium I was going to be standing at, delivering to my house. And I was in the garage for 2 hours, 3 hours every day with a tape recorder and just doing my speech, listening to it, doing it again, doing it and doing it. I could have read it backwards by the time I got there, and I never once looked at the losing speech. It's still unopened. Don't know what was in it.
Wow.
Just didn't let that get near me. A great team.
Would you change anything about the way you handled it?
No, not at all. Never left a stone unturned. We were allowed to do anything we wanted with the course, and I did. They were longer than us off the tee, so it got a bit narrow at about 280 yards. It was like single file up the fairways, so it kind of took the drivers out of their hands. And a lot of bunkers on dog legs on the corner. 17, I had the next one put in up there. I did everything I could to make it better for us. They were much more proficient out of the thick rough. I had all the rough cut down around the greens, so it was harder for them, easier for us. The greens were always a little bit slower, much slower than American greens, and we played on slower greens. There was no hiding that fact, but even slightly slower, just to suit us more. That's the privilege of being captain, home honour, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough test for the boys. Bethpage.
It's different now.
Different now, but last year we were in Rome, and on the the amphitheatre that surrounded the first tee, Marco Simone, and the day they had the massive, big picture of Seve that they rolled out, and it rolled down over hundreds of people in the crowd, and you can really see that to this day the impact and the inspiration that Seve provides within the European Ryder Cup team environment. Why do you think he's such a big inspiration to people?
He was the king. He was the Arnold Palmer of European golf. He was so respected, so loved. I mean, he was extraordinary.
It's so rare to be so good and so successful and to be the king of something and so loved. How do you think he managed to achieve that?
It's just him, you know. The one that sticks out was 17 at Wentworth, when the crowd's in behind them, and he stops, somebody's making the noise, he looks at him and says, "Hey, I know you're nervous. I'm nervous too, okay?" he just had that natural, could talk to anyone.
Yeah. What's your fondest memory of Seve from you personally?
No, 80. Come to put his arm around me when I come off the green. Not there, right there. Very special.
What do you think makes a good leader?
Understanding your team, never letting anyone feel out of place. The motivational video, I had two made. One of all American screw-ups, which gave us a great laugh. But on the Sunday night, I was sitting in the team room, it's over, with one party's going on. Curtis Strange, dear friend, was our opposing captain, and he had his two boys, they were in our team room, and then David Duval came in. And I love David Duval, a great man. He sat down beside me, and we're just having a great time. Then someone put on the wrong video, put American screw-ups, and the first picture we see is David Duval at 17th at St Andrews, when he took 3 to get out of the bunker, lying second.
Oh no.
And I put my hand over his eyes and said, "David, please don't watch, I'm sorry." He said, "Hey, Seve, don't worry, I got my name on the trophy." Which was brilliant.
Oh, good man.
Little moments that'll keep springing up.
Yeah. How often do you think about the Ryder Cup in your day-to-day life now?
It's always there. Dull moment. Things come flying in.
Yeah.
You know, we all said, I said, in the end, we'll have some great memories, but just hope I don't get dementia and forget them all. But wonderful things to look back at. Great life, very lucky.
Yeah, you must feel sometimes now, can you absorb how successful you've been, and just a young guy from the west of Scotland, you know, the success and the moments you've had in your life? It must be a lot to appreciate.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love being who I am, and having what happened to me, you know, the highs and the lows. There wasn't many lows, obviously you played bad. I never minded missing the cut, because I got a weekend at home. You know, we did so much travelling. I mean, the first 10 years on tour, I missed one event. And that was because I had a broken toe, and I didn't play, but you know, always on the go. And just loved it, loved travelling. Loved everything about it, the camaraderie, your mates, and coming back from the Ryder Cup and seeing your pals, that was also very special. Especially if you'd won, tell them what happened and all want to know all the stories and everything that went on. Great.
You've had a successful long marriage with your wife, Suzanne.
Yes.
How much of a support has she been?
Ultimate. She's taught me many things, many things. One of the greatest things she told me early on was worrying is the interest you pay on the inevitable, which if you look into that is very special. What's the point of worrying? It's going to happen, it's going to happen. And just being who she is, you know, an amazing person, great companion, likes a bit of fun. We had some good times, still have.
What do you think is the secret to a successful partnership?
I would say, no.
Go on.
No, just loving each other. You know, it's there to see, it's there to be, and not worrying about each other. You know, we look after each other. It's special. And the kids have been incredible. That changes life as well. It gives you such a different outlook. And when you have your first child, you know, it gives you a great insight to your own parents. Jesus, did they go through this with us? I mean, my God. Having the children has been very special. Great part of my life.
Where do you rank that in your successes?
The top.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What role did you wish to play? What kind of father did you hope to be for your children?
One that I liked, hopefully.
Yeah.
I was never too stern. We had our days, but and they're good kids. All three of them are great kids. Growing up now, just, you know, nearly all in the 30s. Very special. Two of them are still at home. One comes back most of the time. And I miss it if it all went away.
Do you feel like you notice similarities in the way you father to the way your father was with you?
No.
No.
No, he was a tough old cookie, my dad. I'm a softie. But he taught me well.
So just going back to the Ryder Cup, we were talking about Rome last year, and obviously we're off to Bethpage. What are the biggest differences you've seen in the way that event has changed over the years?
The enormity of it. You know, Gleneagles. The first tee at Gleneagles was extraordinary. And then France, that was where it really got big, I thought. That was an incredible amphitheatre, the first tee. You know, when this filtering the guys. And that was incredible. And the atmosphere in the team room is second to none. And it really is sacrosanct. Nothing ever goes on. You know, you'll never hear anything from the team room. There's nothing to tell anyway, apart from 12 guys and the captain, the vice captains getting on really well. You know, the vice captains are so important. I used to take the captaincy as like the headmaster. And if you've got a problem, go and see one of the vice captains. And if they can't sort it, and they will sort it, they'll take it to the captain and he'll sort it, whatever it is, whatever problem it is. And the camaraderie is beyond belief. Friends for life, for life.
Who do you think's been the greatest Ryder Cup captain, European side?
Difficult to say. You know, Tony, I would have to say Tony, because he changed everything.
Tony Jacklin.
Yes.
So now you've transitioned into the commentary side of things. How did you find that in the beginning when you went from playing and captaining the team and then now into talking a good game?
The first commentary I ever did was, for some, I don't know how I got it, but it might have been Fairways that got me. I did the Masters with VJ singing, not VJ singing, Jerry Payton and I, when VJ won. And we did like 8 hours a day non-stop, and I loved it, just sitting there, because I kind of know what I'm talking about, hopefully, you know, how players are feeling. And then it moved on, went with the BBC, learned from Peter Alice so much. That was magnificent. And then went with World Feed, where I've been ever since. And they're great people. Again, great camaraderie, great fun. When you get back to the tell, stories to tell, you know what it's like. They're great people.
Yeah. What was it like working with Peter Alice?
Oh, the best. Daunting in the beginning.
Yeah.
But he was a big softie, really, but so good, so good. And example, like the last hole at the Open, you know, and the roaring's going on, you go to say something. Listen to the crowd. You know. Okay, feel it? Absolutely. And he was 100% right. He taught me so much. I mean, great to have someone like that coaching you.
Yeah.
And I think he liked me. He used to write me letters when I won. And I always called him or thanked him for the letters, but I was useless at writing. I never wrote a letter back. And he told me once that was, he should have written a letter back. But I loved him.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
Of course. Absolutely, of course. There's things that the Dunhill Cup, playing Curtis Strange prior to being opposite captains, and it was the semi-final. It was between him and I. It was one match each, three-man teams, and the last and he hit his second into the Valley of Sin. And I've hit it about 8 feet short of the hole, and I'm just it's 3 weeks after a hole to win and putt at the Ryder Cup, 85. So I was full of confidence. He putted up, left it 4 feet short, and says, "I'll finish, carry on." I'm just hoping he would miss it, but he didn't. He knocked it in, and I 3-putted it, and I put Scotland out, and that was the lowest moment of my career. But you learn. You know, my dad always said, if there's no bumps in the road, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. And if you learn by your mistakes, you never stop learning. I'm still learning. And if you don't make mistakes, there's nothing to learn from it. We all make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Just try and keep it to not too severe.
How much has it meant to you to be Scottish in the world of professional golf?
Yeah, I'm very proud to be a Scotsman. It's a great country, great people. Billy Connolly's the funniest man that ever lived.
Yeah.
And I think he instilled a lot of that into a lot of people. Robin Williams. I mean, if you listen to Robin Williams, it's sadly past now, but some of his stories, Robin Williams on golf, is one of the funniest things you'll ever hear.
It is,
and
yeah.
it's Billy Connolly, you can see it.
Yeah.
Just great people, the Scots.
Yeah, and a great voice for commentary now. With your low rumble, you got a voice like a Harley Davidson.
Yeah, it's smoking, isn't it?
So when you sit down in your comfy chair in your house here in Sunningdale and you look back on all your life and where it's led to this point so far, there's still plenty more to come, but what are you most proud of?
Captaincy, by far. There was nothing more important in my golfing life than that. Oh dear.
A half. That was a treat.
Thanks, Iona.
Thank you so much.
Great fun. You're pretty good still.
Mwah. Pretty good still.
Yes, you are. Sausage time.